pounds. For context, their 1 through 5 hitters in the first game in franchise history, the New York Highlanders back in the day had an average size of 5'9", 170 pounds. Man, how time has changed. The game has changed. So there are the big Bronx Bombers. Here's what Voigt had to say about his crew.
It's the goal line package. That's what we call it with all the big boys up top. So it'll be pretty fun.
All right, so here's how Thursday's Yankees 1 through 5 hitters stack up against the Jets' Super Bowl III starting offensive line. Offensive linemen back then weren't as big as they are now, obviously, but these 5 Yankees, I mean, they would have stacked up pretty well.
We understand they're big.
They're big, okay? Get it? Voigt, one of the big men with a big hit. He doubles down the left field line. One run will come around to score. Watch the throw. A little high. Yeah, Heyo goes all the way to the backstop. Voigt advances to third, and the Yankees with a 3-0 lead. Big stuff from these big men. Here's another one of them. It's 6'4", Stanton stunting on him. A line drive laser. His 20th of the season. The Yankees take a 7-4 lead. They would go on to win 7-5. And just like the Dodgers, the Yankees have won 7 in a row. They continue to hold that top spot in the AL wild card. The Yankees have won 22 of 27 games, decided by 1 or 2 runs since July. That's 7 more wins than any other team over that span. The Yankees are also tied for the fewest losses in 1 or 2 run games over that span with 5. And the last time they won the World Series, that was back in 2009. The Bombers had the best record in Major League Baseball in games decided by 1 or 2 runs.
A Los Angeles judge ruled Thursday against granting a woman a permanent restraining order against Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer and dissolved a temporary order in the case. The woman has accused Bauer of sexually assaulting her during 2 encounters this spring, and a police investigation is ongoing. However, the judge ruled that Bauer does not pose a threat to the woman. Our Tisha Thompson has the latest with a warning to our viewers that her report contains graphic descriptions of sexual violence.
Do you have anything you want to tell Major League Baseball with their investigation?
Is there anything you want to say to the Dodgers? How do you feel that
Trevor Bauer left a Los Angeles courthouse Thursday morning, no longer with a restraining order placed against him. Judge Diana Gold-Saltman ruled that the court found no supportable evidence Bauer will likely cause the woman harm or have contact with her in the future, the core of what the court had to decide. The judge began the day by ruling Bauer did not have to take the stand after she asked him if he planned to invoke his Fifth Amendment right not to incriminate himself. Bauer answered, "Yes, Your Honor." The woman at the heart of the hearing, who ESPN is not identifying, had received a temporary restraining order against Bauer after she submitted a declaration in June that said she and Bauer engaged in 2 sexual encounters in which she said she was strangled unconscious with her own hair and punched with a closed fist all over her body. In making her decision, the judge said the woman's declaration was materially misleading, in part because it left out messages with Bauer telling him to give me all the pain, and others indicated she wanted to be hit and choked out. When making her decision, the judge asked, in the context of a sexual encounter, when a woman says no, she should be believed. So what about when she says yes? But the judge also said, let me be clear, the injuries shown in the photographs were terrible, referring to pictures taken at a hospital. In the end, however, the judge said Bauer stopped when the woman asked him to stop and did not exceed the limits to what she had agreed to during their second sexual encounter.
We are grateful to the Los Angeles Superior Court for denying the request for a permanent restraining order and dissolving the temporary restraining order against Mr. Bauer today. We have expected this outcome since the petition was filed in June, but we appreciate the court reviewing all the relevant information and testimony to make this informed decision.
In a statement to ESPN, the woman's attorney said, while our client is disappointed about the judge's ruling, she is hopeful that Mr. Bauer will voluntarily seek the help he needs to make sure that no other woman in a dating relationship with him suffers the same traumatic fate that she did. That is why she was willing to come forward and endure the victim blaming for Mr. Bauer that she knew would inevitably result. Keeping not only herself, but also other women safe from the hands of this troubled man has always been a priority and will continue to be so. The woman's lawyer argued that you cannot give consent when you are unconscious. That will be the key question during an ongoing criminal investigation with Pasadena police. At Los Angeles Superior Court, Tisha Thompson, ESPN.
Trevor Bauer remains on administrative leave, and Thursday marked his 49th day away from the Dodgers. Our Alden Gonzalez has more on what is next when it comes to Bauer and Major League Baseball.
Trevor Bauer's administrative leave was set to expire on Friday, but Major League Baseball decided to extend it a sixth time through August 27th after Thursday's ruling. Now, MLB's potential punishment never hinged on the ruling in this very specific case, though the testimony offered as part of it could definitely influence it. MLB also won't make a decision on the potential punishment until after a criminal investigation by the Pasadena Police Department unfolds. The league doesn't need a criminal conviction to suspend players under its domestic violence policy, but keep in mind, Trevor Bauer chose not to testify in this hearing because he didn't want to incriminate himself. And in all likelihood, he hasn't spoken to league officials for that same reason. Ideally, for both parties, Bauer will present his side before the league makes any determination. From Los Angeles Superior Court, Alden Gonzalez, ESPN.
Coming up on SportsCenter from Los Angeles, more reaction from Patriots Eagles. Sal Powell talking about who could start for quarterback for New England and why Jalen Hurts wasn't playing Thursday for Philly. Kyler Murray speaks with our Lisa Salters about Cardinals' disappointing finish last season and how Arizona can bounce back. And the best of the best from Thursday. It's the top 10. We're counting them down on SportsCenter from LA.